And now for something completely different. I know, I was trying to bring, a little bit of my own Chicago background in, and it's a rarity. Beg pardon?
Did you bring pizza? Did you bring Vote
Chicago isn't just pizza. Also, not only that, but in the checkered career of a number of well-known Chicago authors at various times since, Chicago never being a sort of publishing capital, but was part of the pulp magazine period in the 30s. Some well-known authors were convinced by other folks to sort of dip into science fiction. It's not generally well known. One of the books that I found, and I just put it forward to the book club to see what they would think of it. And I guess now it is back in print, thanks to Middle House Publishers in East Jesus, Nebraska.
Thank goodness.
You may be familiar with Nelson Albarn's The Man with the Golden Arm, but I have a copy here of The Arm with the Golden Man.
May I hold it up?
Yes. I thought it was also appropriate that even though it looks like an Ed Cartier illustration from, and you can pass this around. Ed Cartier is actually a pseudonym for an artist named Matt Gray.
Matt Joseph Gray.
Matt Joseph Gray. Thank you. The cover blurb on the back of there is, well, you can read it. Welcome. Welcome to a city lost in the mist of time and space, where blackjack meets force distorter, where junkies get high on tensor bosons, where the warring crime lords are named Einstein, Rosen, and Podolsky, where it's meat packers versus heat packers, where Gold Coast meets Skid Row, where race war meets space war,
yes!
Where the L meets the transport gate, where everything is for sale and nothing is of value, least of all human life. Welcome to a city where all the rivers run backwards and forwards and elsewheres. Welcome to Chicago. It's your kind of town. And it's Tony Buzz Bashinskis' type of town, where whether he likes it or not, with a neon brain and two fully grown minds, neither of which are the boss, when the city of temporal collapse threatens to implode half the galaxy, it's Tony Buzz who must square the circle and straighten the squares, if only he can find the arm that controls him. He and his acquaintances like Last Laugh Lozano, Elaine the striptease physicist, Elementa Hightower, Other Worlds Woodgorski, and Kid in Glasses take on the heaviest and deadliest carnivores ever to buy an oath of office or dump an adversary into Bubbly Creek. The Arm with the Golden Man, Alton Nelgren's forgotten classic of post-war science fiction, is back in print for the first time in a half-century. His vivid streets and dingy dives, his seemingly inexhaustible menagerie of lost souls tethered to bizarre and prescient technologies can be rediscovered by readers at last.
And I just want us to, that kind of just golden age copy, you just don't see anymore. So. And then, we have a copy here that's your personal copy.
That's my personal copy, and
right,
that's
so
on eBay it cost me $14,000. No, this is actually the new Piddle House recreated edition.
Yeah.
There was a paperback edition that first came out of this. If I have the. Copyright 1952, 2011 by the Alton Nelgren Literary Trust. The current version is a corrected typescript of the original manuscript, which first appeared in Bombastic Tales of Super Science, April through June 1952.
That was such a great magazine.
I loved Bombastic Tales.
Yeah. I always looked up to
underrated.
It. Yeah. So
especially the special Gnome edition of February 1952.
The sparkly purple one.
Yeah.
All right, and I think you have some more that you could share with them, since most of these folks have not had a chance to take a look at this.
More what?
I think you told me that you decided to read an excerpt.
Oh, well, I do, yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm gonna read the first couple pages of.
Right, just to whet your appetite.
So that when you get a chance, you can order this. You can get an ebook version that you don't have to jimmy open the Kindle opener. But
it breaks your Kindle all by itself.
And then if you
You were working with a team to design one that has a special insert pocket for those bookmarks?
Okay, here's the first couple pages of The Arm with the Golden Man. Chapter 1, no ghost follows where a square is gone. Tony Buzz Bashinskis was a man of two minds, and he was losing both of them. He stood at his spot at the bar of the Brass Bucket, where he had worn the varnish off the side in a vaguely Tony-shaped silhouette, from rail to counter, and there were two shoe-sized depressions like Arthur Murray dance steps directly under his soles, created from years and years of doing just what he was doing now, giving the place the old neon eyeball. He had two of those, too. Eyeballs, that is. Little neon rings, one in each iris. Sometimes they were red, sometimes they were purple or pink or bright chartreuse. He kept them behind a pair of tinted horn rims, but you could probably see them even if his lenses were made of stainless steel. Some of the regulars, like Ulrich the Red and Tommy the Tip-Top Tuba Man, thought that they knew who he was looking for. Somebody special. Only one of Tony's minds really knew, and that mind wasn't talking. Tony never questioned the dictates of one mind over the other, no matter which mind it was at the time. Like he said after High Life Hanrahan won the, quote, election, unquote, for mayor, whoever's in charge is okay with me. He wore a blue sports jacket that looked slept in, mostly because he slept in it. His shirt and pants matched the jacket. His face was put together in a way that didn't unpleasantly break the bounds of bilateral symmetry, but one would have to be a connoisseur of rough edges to declare him handsome. Not that it hurt his ability to score. Tony had put an impressive number of points on the board in his day, and his day wasn't scheduled until tomorrow. Many women had said to him, "Just the thought of your touching me makes my skin crawl." Tony would reply, "Well, don't think about it." Surprising how many women didn't think about it. Surprising how many women wanted to spend a few hours with crawling skin. It didn't surprise Tony, though, who was 13 the first time a girl from St. John Cantius sat in his lap when he didn't have a lap to sit in. To each his own, Tony always said. Even the women with crawling skin, said Tony, was a fair guy. The neon eyeballs did the circuit of the Brass Bucket, the normal trade mostly. Sim Mahoney was making a racket standing next to two guys who'd just gotten their pay envelopes from Stuart Warner. They peeped into them every few minutes before ordering another beer just to make sure nothing was missing. Sim peeped into them too. Never hurt to be too careful. 4 of the guys sat along the bar. Tony didn't know. If asked, they all would have said their names were Smith, but nobody asked. That's why people came to the Brass Bucket. Well, maybe I'll give you enough of a taste of what this is like.
All right, we have a little bit more. So. If you'd like to read a little bit more of this, then obviously you can take a look at his copy or just at the stuff that he transcribed onto that. So I was wondering what the rest of you thought of Mr. Meldrum's work.
For me, what was really cool was looking at it as something that Daniel Pinkwater might have been reading when he was growing up. Looking at, Daniel Pinkwater has written stuff set in a different version of Chicago, but they both have this narc theater in them. Mm-hmm. And, I had never realized until then that this was probably a reference from Pinkwater back to this earlier work.
Also Meldrum, yes.
Yeah, so that I thought was really pretty cool to have another insight on one of my favorite authors.
Yeah, it's great to see the web of influences, Yeah.
I didn't think there was enough pizza in it. It just didn't taste like Chicago to me.
Without a pizza.
Without a pizza.
I think my favorite part was the confrontation with Plasma Schlong Finkowitz. Mm-hmm. That was a that was racy.
Well, let's not spoil the whole.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't want to do any spoilers if people haven't read it.
But yeah,
but it doesn't spoil it since we don't know what the outcome is.
It's true. It's sort of left hanging.
And Plasma is a
seriously?
In as many ways as you can imagine.
I mean, it just calls out for a sequel.
Yeah, I was thinking of.
Hold on just a second. Do we have a note? What?
Too bad 50 years later. Maybe somebody can write a fan sequel.
The Gold with the Army Man.
Or what was it? The Arm with the Golden Fan.
Yeah. Yes.
I did hear that when the original came out, there was talk of making it into a movie, but Mayor Daley wouldn't hear of it, as he was often wont to do. Now that it's come out again and Mayor Daley is dead, is there any possibility that this will be on screen?
It's going to be difficult for me.
Being dead in Chicago really doesn't affect much. You still get to vote. You get to.
You get to be mayor. I mean, if High Life Hanrahan is legally declared dead, you know, before he's won the quote election, and runs the fifth floor from
the crypt.
Yeah.
Basically, it's instead of Tales from the Crypt, it's like Vetoes from the Crypt. Right.
Well, actually, it was made into a movie under the title Tales from the Crypt.
Yes.
I mean, the screenwriters changed the book so much that it's just about unrecognizable.
Yeah, I think Harlan Ellison took his name off that. Yeah.
Yeah.
His name wasn't on it to begin with.
Yeah, it was very easy.
You know you made Harlan Ellison mad when he wants to take his name off of something he never had it on in the first place.
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? When he's really pissed off, he trademarks your name.
And then you can't use it.
Yeah, I have to pay him now. Because you know.
I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I think it was an important test case.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope that we someday. Yeah.
Which is why I've been writing under the name John Joseph Adams.
I was wondering if we could
living under the name of Sanders.
Yeah.
I was wondering if, look, I mean, I know this is a book from half a century ago, but can we talk about the treatment of women in this book?
There are no women in this book.
That's the striptease physicist.
No, they just refer to them. Well, yeah, but she actually doesn't ever appear on the page. They just talk about her. She's about to come. She's about to show up.
In more ways than you can
That's what happens when Plasma Schlong is walking.
Ben?
Elaine originally danced under the name of Hot Plasma Hannah.
I think that the bit where she's about to come in, you just see the door open slowly and then closes, and then her the shoe comes in and then out. There's the rising tension of
It's
her.
like there she is in the elevator doors.
Yeah, the elevator closes.
Yeah.
It's about the mystery, femininity.
It's the feminine mystique.
I mean, when the crime lords are named Einstein, Rosen, and Podolsky, there's a lot of uncertainty.
Right. Well, and there's the bit where she's in the box, and
she's not.
Or she's not. Yeah. I think that was meant as a quantum striptease.
Yeah, it was like Schrodinger's phone booth is in the back of the brass bucket.
And you can't tell when it's ringing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I thought the Schrodinger's veterinary clinic in that book too. Fluffy, hold on, let me check. I'm sorry.
Do we have, I think, a specific note or question from over here? No? Okay. You? No? Oh, yes.
Well, talking about a fan sequel, I know on John Joseph Scalzi's blog, he's been sort of hinting about a secret project, and people who go to his Fuzzy Nation readings are going to get something extra special. Does anyone know if this is it?
I thought it was just going to be making out with Will Wheaton.
My information was that it was nomination.
I cannot tell the lie. When John Scalzi came to Capricorn, he said that yes, he is going to be working on The Arm with the Golden Hands.
All right. Is that where we get to see the rolling in motion?
Yes.
Hold on just a second, yes.
Well, but you're all ignoring the other tie-in story, the arm with the golden man and gnomes, which will be coming out next year, of course.
Right. I think that's another small version.
Those are actually the Burger King action figures. They decided that doing Plasma Schlong wasn't going to be a thing for a kid to have in a Happy Meal, so they substituted gnomes for all the characters.
Yes.
Actually, there is a German translation of the book that uses the arm with the golden gnome.
Well, it was used as a pilot project for McDonald's Sexy Meal program. It didn't really get off the ground outside of Amsterdam. So.
We just have 5 more minutes here. I do want to get 1 or 2 more questions from the audience. Yes.
I was hoping you'd mention this, of course, I think is a really secret project, and I don't know who's working on it.
It's so secret.
The Necronomicon.
Yeah, because it's Chicago. It's instead of a big city, so it's the Metronomicon.
It's Neil Joseph Stevenson is writing it today. It's 1,100 pages.
Well, it's a collaboration with.
With Lovecraft from the Crypt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was a collaboration.
And Harlan Joseph Ellison's taking his name off of it.
Harlan Joseph TM.
And it's Abdul Joseph Aziz, I think.
Anyone else? No? Oh, yes.
I had a question about the sexual orientation of the lead character in the book, because if you look at the book's cover, the guy, what he's looking at is decidedly phallic.
Well, and yeah, I mean, that is the tension underlying the scene with Plasma Shalom. Think of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's what.
But it's coded. It's coded. It's
yeah.
the 50s. It's, you know,
it's all about
lines.
handkerchiefs and yeah.
But there is also that look of fear on his face. So there's that.
But is it the fear of self-knowledge or the fear
right.
of... Yeah, it's hard to pick.
It's the fear of having a long pointed red hat placed on his head.
Yeah.
Even though it would match his tie.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe the tie is a kind of metaphor. Yeah.
Like in Dilbert. What?
Yeah.
You know, Ellen's complained that there's no pizza in the book, but you don't talk about the symbolism of hot dogs throughout it. Right about this matter.
This is true.
And the plasma hot dogs.
Yeah.
Plasma hot dogs.
Well, and I mean, I know it was written in the 50s.
The really, really hot dogs.
Yeah.
I know it was written in the 50s, but I think that the fact that he has a Chicago that does not have Marshall Fields, I mean, it's Fieldsville, and it's just, you know,
Those minty things.
No,
so
it's one of those. It's one of those prescient aspects of the book. Even though he did rename Marshall Fields Marcy's, so he was off by one letter.
Right.
But there are various other things.
Well, he also called the L the K.
There is the confrontation battle that takes place on top of the Superdog stand on Milwaukee and Devon.
Yes.
You know, where the giant 20-foot Superdog hot dog wearing the leopard skin.
And the pointy red hat.
And the pointy red hat gets knocked off of him by Tony Buzz.
Revealing that he's wearing a tutu on his head.
And also reveals where the neon eyes came from, because everybody's seen Superdog's eyes are always blinking neon eyes.
I do want. I feel like we should maybe start wrapping this up because we do have just a few more minutes. I really want to thank.
There's nothing left.
All of the different. No, you know, we had some diversity in, like, we had, you know, a book or two in translation. We had a book or two that got lost in translation. We had
that are still lost.
Yeah, we had, you know, anthologies, and some of these are really, really, like, you know, this isn't like those other panels where you're going to hear about, oh, this is all just stuff that came out last year. You know, this is all things. Well, a lot of these are things that you're going to have to go on WorldCat to find or find some PDFs. So, yes.
Is it true that Google will cancel your account if you try and use their translator in the book?
I think Google might give you a lot of questions. If you try to use
Actually, what happens is a slit appears in your screen and
and you get a coupon
from the Baltic Bakery.
Exactly.
And it's not in the language you speak.
Yeah.
So you don't know what the coupon is for, but you know it's 50 cents.
No, what it says, what the coupon says in English, it says, this coupon is good. It doesn't say anything else. There's a little letter in the back that says, you stink.
Well, the version I had, I mean, that was 2.0, they revised it, but it was really that this coupon is not being evil.
Well, that was a bad translation.
Hold on just a second, yes?
Well, so the main thing you have to worry about if you use Google Translate is the targeted ads that you start getting in your Gmail after you've used it in Google Translator, because those are some really offensive ads.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you like red caps. You'll like these.
But I hit the I feel lucky button.
I don't even know what comes up for Plan Schlong.
It's all thinky. It's all thinky. All right.
50 schlongs to see in Chicago.
All right.
You know, check out the dealer's room. They may have a copy of Trailer Now.
Yeah.
It'll be pricey, but...
Exactly.
But well worth every penny.
To step out of character just for the very end of this, thank you all. You were so imaginative. I had no idea it would go this well. I was so happy about it. And thank you all for playing along. It was such a great game to play with all of you. And I hope someone else suggests this for next year. Because I feel like, I started
this early in the morning, it was an epic miracle.